It's the place for artisans. It's the Central Asian Phoenix, and it's really good. Fire worship by the Zoroastrians. This is the synagogue and the two blue domes at the side. The old bricks. The Ark of Bukhara looks like the one in Samarkand. Founder of the Samanid dynasty. Right here is the Registan. Hi, good morning friends. Now I'm in Bukhara with my new friend here from Poland. And he's Adam. He has been traveling for 9 years, a legend I think. And anyway, we are in Bukhara and we want to see the old city of Bukhara, which is a very ancient and historical city. There are like a lot of Zoroastrian, Buddhist, and later Islams. And you know, some Muslim scholars are from here like Imam Bukhari, Avicenna, and others. But first we will see the old city, and I'll take you and explain more about that later. So basically we are traveling through the Mahala, the residential area, and it looks nice. Still a lot of old buildings, residential buildings. And now our first stop is this one. It's the amazing Chor Minaret. What you call it?
It means 4 minarets.
It means 4 minarets. And let's see. This one is Chor Minor. It means like 4 minarets. You can see the 4 minarets. I think now it's been turned into a mosque, but before, according to what I read, it's actually like the gates of madrasah. It was built around 1800s, and with the influence from India actually, because the one who financed the building went to Hyderabad, and there is a similar 4 minarets, and it's used like this now. And at the top you can see storks, but this one is a statue because in the past you can see the old picture. They used to have storks. Storks are used to making their nest here, like that one. See, and yeah, it's really amazing. Let's take some pictures. Right across Chor Minarets we have a bazaar, a small shop.
It's like a little bit of a museum. But
Yes,
it's free museum.
and you can actually buy the exhibits.
Yes.
See,
This.
like this one, Soviet Union.
This is big. This is big. I
Wow,
want something like this.
for wine, yeah. Some
No, for wine. Who
Vodka.
drinks wine? Yeah. Samokor. Vodka is for weed.
I see. Thank you for correcting. If you want to decorate your home, your house, just come here and buy some stuffs here. You can see statue of Lenin. Nice.
I think this is a pasta hut. The attraction, and we're like,
This seems,
bazaar is more
yeah,
fun.
this looks more interesting. So this is really like a museum with a lot of pins, decorations. But the interesting one is here. It's not about Russia or Soviet, but it's German. Potsdam.
I want this.
And it's Indonesia, Garuda. Wow. So let's take a look at this 1807 building. The 4 minarets, Chor Minor.
Looks like it has a free entrance.
I think it's just a shop, so you can just enter. It's just a shop.
She was fun. She said, it's like, and those are more wild. You can see the jungle in there.
We are now walking to the Liabi house. It's the central reservoir of the old city. And now we're walking through the old residence here. I think it's called Mahalas. And it's very interesting because people still live here. And some houses, they look abandoned, and you can see how it looks really old. Yes. Now here we can see old madrasah from the 19th century. But it's already turned into a hotel, but you can see some remnants of it. For example, you can see here the Arabic calligraphy engraved. So it's really, really interesting. And even in front of us, there's an even bigger madrasah, Kukaldas Madrasah. It's the largest madrasah in Central Asia. Look at the cracks and the door. Wow. Let's circle it. Look at this madrasah, like at the corner. See? It's like old renovation with this iron here. So you can know that it's actually must be ancient, because if they renovate recently, it would be much better. And see the old wood and the nails. Amazing. So here is the front view of Wukeldas Madrasah, built in the late 1560s. And you can see it has some like Persian architecture, probably influenced by the Greeks, which were here earlier during the Alexander period, the Bactrian Greeks. And let's take a look inside. Here inside the madrasah now it's like for arts, and actually I'm here with the artist, the painters himself. Hi, hello, yeah, painting artist, very good one.
Thank you.
This is the inside of Wukeldas Madrasah. This is the square. Just try to imagine like 500 years ago, a lot of Muslim clerics are here. A lot of students. Wow. Another artist making these knives. Look at this.
It's been 1938, there's a date.
This is the store. And here, yeah, you can see 1938 cotton industry when it was introduced into Uzbekistan. It's very famous for cotton. And if you remember, we visited the Avalsi before. One of the reasons why the Avalsi disappeared is because of the cotton industry. The current, the river from the Amu Darya, they are actually diverted to irrigate the cotton fields. Right across the road, we have this Nadir Divan Begi Madrasah, built in the 1630s. And it's, you see, it's like leaning, and it's been renovated, but I heard it used to look like this. And what's very interesting is actually the picture here, because in the Islamic culture, usually you should not actually paint something like living things or something, but here we can see the birds like phoenix. It's the Central Asian phoenix, and the one in the middle right there, you can see the sun with the face of Mongolian. But the sun with the face is actually a kind of symbol of Mitra. It's in Zoroastrian, it's actually the intermediary between God and man. So it's very interesting. You can see how there is still some Zoroastrian influence. And now inside, I think it's been turned into a museum. Oh no, into a restaurant. Let's take a quick look.
So it doesn't get like destroyed so fast.
Yes.
Even the cars, like you can drive cars here 50 years. In Europe only 20 because they are rusty.
Yeah. It's the place for artisans. You can see how they actually make some engravings here. See, those one in action. We are learning from the master. So you draw on top of it first, and then you chisel it, right? Thank you. The arts here, you can see the dolls, scissors, bells, lamps, and many others. This is the Shahrut Canal. It cuts the city, and this will go to the reservoir, the Liabi House. The Shahrut Canal basically means the Royal Canal, and here it's diverted a little bit into a small reservoir. It's called the Liabi House, Houseman Reservoir. It was built in the early 17th century, I think. 1620. And it's really good. And right over here, you can see also a madrasah. this is the mosque.
We can try to get in
Yes.
and
And I heard actually when the Divan Bege wants to create this pool and the mosque, actually this place was owned by a Jewish lady. And in the end, she traded this with the synagogue. I mean, his house to a place for building a synagogue. So this used to be a mosque, but now it's a museum built by Nadir Divan Begi in 1620, like the others, including the canal. So I was told the area was used to be owned by a Jewish lady, and then the prime minister, the vizier, wants to take her land to build this, but she didn't want to. But in the end, she traded her piece of land to the one that's now built the synagogue. And on the second floor, it used to be her residence. So later we'll go to the synagogue. But now I want to take you to see another very interesting place. It's a mosque, Atari Mosque or something like that. Later we'll see. And I heard it used to be it was built over an ancient building, like for Zoroastrian temple, and perhaps also a Buddhist temple, and even below that it's a temple for I don't know, animism or paganism. Let's see. Here is a newer building. It's a caravanserai, Bedouin caravanserai, 19th century. Caravanserai actually means a hotel for caravans, and that's why it's called caravanserai. So it means 100 to 200 years ago, this used to be like inns where people stay in the rooms, but now it's a restaurant. This one is the Magog-i-Atari Mosque. And what's very interesting, it's actually situated in a 4-meter deep pit. See, it's deep, so it shows that it's very ancient. And according to what I read online, this was built on top of a Zoroastrian temple, which was built also on top of other temples before it. And if you take a look later, some people say you can still see some candles. So basically, like still like fire worship by the Zoroastrians still somehow exists in this area. And I heard in the past, before the synagogue was built, Bukharan Jews actually pray in this mosque. Let's take a look inside. Let's take a look. You can see there are still some blue tiles. So it shows how it is old, because like if a lot of blue, it's usually after Timurid, and this one is before. And what's interesting is you can see a little bit of the pillars here and there, and the symbol of Farafahar, the simplified symbol of Zoroastrianism, which is this one. See, like this and this. Yeah, you can find this anywhere in Bukhara. So this is the mosque from the 12th century. Very ancient, yeah, but now it's a carpet museum. If you want to get in, you need to pay 20,000 sam, which is actually not much, but if every building 20,000 sam, I'll be broke in like a few days. Very interesting. And now let's go to the synagogue of the Bukharan Jews. Okay, let's go. This is an art school in Bukhara. You can see, very beautiful. We are now at one of the synagogues, Yehudi Lia Mahiti. See, with the Hebrew letters. Synagogue. Yeah, synagoga. I don't know whether we can get in or not. Wanna knock? It was a small synagogue, and I think that's not the one that we are looking for, so we are walking again to another synagogue. Star of David. Maybe this is the synagogue, or at least this is the Jewish quarter. So there used to be tens of thousands of Bukharan Jews in the past. They've been here for millennia, and I heard like in their legend, they're actually one of the 10 lost tribes of Israel who was exiled during the Assyrian period. But some people actually think it's from the 4th century, running from Persian, 4th century, something like that. By the way, this is the synagogue, Bukhara Jewish synagogue, the monument of 16th century under state protection. So let's look for the entrance, because this one is closed. Maybe it's from there. Let's go. And here is the Bukhara Jewish old house from the 17th to 18th century. So we might actually go and take a look. Hi, can we get in? So this is the synagogue with like a 1,000 years old Torah, but it's closed. The only open ones are the homes of old Bukharan Jews, and you need to pay like 25,000 to enter, which I don't think it's worth it. It might be actually interesting. And actually this is the Jewish quarter. That's why you can even see this Salom Travel, probably owned by Jewish or someone who want to look Jewish at least. And some other home out there. And even the door, you can see it's the Star of David. See, this one. Yeah. So this is the, if you want to enter, you can see. Okay, so let's look for other place maybe. Let's go to the minaret, which is right over there. It's a 1,000 years old minaret. We are back at the ancient mosque, and right beside it, actually, you can see the ruin of old bathhouse. So this used to be old bathhouse. Wow. This one, another caravanserai from 18th century, but it's closed. And now we are going to the bazaar, which is this one. And through here we'll go to the minaret. This one is Toki Telpak Fubuson from 16th century, the trading dome. Bazaar. Good one.
I can go to Russia now.
And that is the Kalon Minaret, 1,000 years old. Let's go there. Also an old building, and now it's a carpet shop. As you can see, in Uzbekistan there are a lot of madrasas. In Bukhara also. This one, probably a madrasa, ancient one. Here also, madrasa. And there, I don't know. And behind that is the mosque and the minaret. Okay, let's just look around this area first and then we'll head there.
Вот этот фон красивый, потрясающий. Молча сидите так чуть-чуть. Пакет снять нельзя?
Here we are at the Kalon Mosque. It's built in the 16th century, around 1514 to be more exact. And this one is even older. This is the minaret, Kalon Minaret. It's from the 10th century, I think. And over here, this one is probably a madrasa. You can see the main entrance and the two blue domes at the side, which looks amazing. This one is the Miri Arab Madrasa. I heard it was built by selling like a few thousand Persian slaves caught during the war. And this is the minaret, 1,000 years old. And this is the Kalan Mosque, which was built in 15th century. Maybe also that one. Now I'm inside Kalan Mosque. You need to pay 5,000 som to enter, but it's really nice. First of all, you can see the minaret right behind me there, and also the mosque is still undergoing renovation. So you can see the renovated one, which is already good, but you can also see like this, which is the old one. So it's been here from the 15th century, end of 15th or early 16th century, and you can see the old bricks. Wow. And this is the Juma Mosque, and I don't know whether this is a well. Let's check. Wow, it is. And there is still an active mosque, which is right there. You can enter. Let's see. This here is probably the old mihrab. And now it's here for prayer. And here on the west part of the city is the Ark. Basically, it's like the fort of the king or the emir in the past, with the royal palace, the royal entourage, ministers. So it's a small fortress within the city wall. Let's take a look. So this fortress is where the emir of Bukhara used to live. Until the last two emirs, they actually moved to the Sama Royal Palace. But yeah, you can see how ancient it is. And this is the entrance into the fortress, the Ark of Bukhara. Let's go. Oh, I think you need ticket. Let's see. To enter the Ark, you need to pay 40,000 som. It's a museum. So, because I have limited time, in 1 hour I need to be in the train station. So I think we'll just skip this. But basically, this is the palace of the emir, which was here in 1920, I guess. And it's really big inside. And now it's turned into a museum. So we just see some buildings there, and then we'll go. Right in front of the Ark, we have this, the Tower of Bukhara. Basically, it's a pretty modern tower, but it was designed by a famous engineer, I guess. But it used to be actually a place for water storage, water tank. But it's no longer used, and it just stays like this now. Now we'll visit some other buildings, and let's take a look at that one before we go to another mausoleum, which is very important.
Even like random mosques.
Yeah,
Like it's
nice ceilings
very nice.
and the wood carving. This one here is the Juma Masjid, the mosque for Friday prayer. I heard it looks like the one in Samarkand. The style is like this, especially the ceiling. Look at that. And the wooden pillars is really good. And this is the mausoleum of Ismail Samoni, the founder of the Samanid dynasty, 9th to 10th century. This is the oldest building in Bukhara. And it survived the destruction because before it was actually deep under the ground because it was covered, it was left like that. And then now it's dug out and it's like this. Very amazing. As you can see, this is actually a place for ziarah, for pilgrimage, and a lot of people come here to pray together, and that's it. You see that also? If you see it like this, it actually looks like a stupa. See? The main stupa surrounded by 4 smaller stupas. Okay, so we need to go. I will go to Samarkand by train. Follow me. So I take Yandex to the hostel here, and now we are going to the train station with our driver. Hi. Hello. Hello. Let's go to Samarkand.
Поверните направо в упор, а затем поверните налево.
Hi, so I just took Yandex. Basically, it's like Uber, or in Indonesia like GoCar and Grab. Now I'm already at the train station, Bukhara Vokzal train station. Okay, let's go. It's 15 minutes more. So I just passed the X-ray and no need to show passport. Only the ticket. Online ticket is fine. The train is already here, as you can see. Here. Carriage number 6. Oh, here you can see Tashkent, Bukhara, or Bukhara, Tashkent. But we will actually depart. We will actually get off at Samarkand. Let's go. And this is the train. I think this one is carriage number 6. With the route from Tashkent to Bukhara. Let's get on the train. This time it's a sleeper train. Carriage 6, number 42. It's like this, you can see. So now it's 4:03. Basically I'm on time, 5 more minutes and we will go. And this is the train, as you can see it's quite good. The distance is around 265 kilometers to Samarkand. You can see here in the map. Here. If you go by car, it will actually take 4 hours 15 minutes, but by train, because it will be like a straight line, it's only 2 hours and 30 minutes. Okay, let's go to Samarkand. Now I have arrived at Samarkand, so it's 2 hours and 30 minutes. And here is the station. Sunset is coming. Yes, sunset. And now we are exiting right here. Samarkand train station with the sunset. And now we're gonna take this tram. So Samarkand has a tram, it has a rail, you see. So there is no bus to the city center, which is around 7 kilometers from here. The station is located on the west side of the Samarkand. But I heard there is actually a tram number 2, so let's just take it. So this is tram number 2, Sea of Bozori. Let's go. This is the tram depot, and we're already near the center of the city. From here, I think I will just walk 2.5 kilometers to the hostel. This is the Bibi Kani Mosque, very big. I have walked for 15 minutes. And now I'm actually in front of the Registan, which is just right here. You can even see some of the domes there. Here, maybe there's actually an entrance to go there from here, maybe, but I don't know. If we can enter, we enter to see the Uzbekistan at night. If not, it's okay. We'll just go. This one right here is Islam Karimov statue. Islam Karimov is the first president of Uzbekistan when it got its independence from the Soviet Union. Wow. This right here is the Uzbekistan. That's the Uzbekistan. Tomorrow we'll be back to see even closer. That's our journey for today. So see you tomorrow. Bye bye. So this is the hostel. It's still very new and it's only 60,000 som. It's really new. I think you should go here while it's still cheap. See? Only one other person. Nobody knows about this place. One Korean. And this is the toilet. Actually, the living room and the kitchen is much better. I'll show you later. Ikuti terus Bang Jago. Sampai jumpa.